Okay, hello everybody. We are live on the internet, and welcome to the Lyceum Project session number 8. Ooh, big 8. We're almost at the double digits, getting so close.
Ooh.
Before we get started, as always, we'd like to remind everyone that we are proudly sponsored by World Anvil, which has everything that you need to start creating and building your world. You can sign up for free and get started right away at worldanvil.com. And you can also join their Discord. Usually we have a chat bot that posts a link, but I don't have access to that at the moment. So if you look them up on Twitter at World Anvil, you can find links to their Discord and stuff. It's great. It's a great community, very supportive. And then we always extend our thanks to Roll20 for their generous support. They provide us with a pro account and some of the core books, so that way I can show you guys battle maps and things when we get into the fights. And what is that? Oh, cat. So where we left off last week, we had Amir stay behind to attempt to negotiate with the baker, whose bread thieves you very successfully caught and then very successfully let go.
Let go into a better life.
They left with B, who got grounded for the next 3 lifetimes.
I'm sorry, who's B?
Oh,
I think you mean Noon?
Noon. Bad habit. I mean, they might be grounded too. Noon has unfortunately left the party to head home with their family due to some rule breaking on the part of Noon and their parents not being too happy about it. So they left. They took the kids that were stealing the bread with them to drop them off with a relative who likes to take care of lost kids like that. So that was very helpful and good for those kids. And in the process of doing that, the party also managed to capture a blink goat that had been missing / on the loose. Turns out the kids had borrowed the guy's goat and didn't bother to leave a note. So they now are in possession of a blink goat as well as a couple of quests to turn in. So we'll go ahead and start with Amir. You stuck around the market.
I was in the tavern just after, obviously, Noon left. I'm assuming at this point, obviously, I've gone back to the market because it was morning, right?
Yeah.
So it was late night that we fought him.
Yeah, it was still going to be a couple of hours before Harold got into the bakery. So you left, went to the guild hall with everybody, and then came back to try to haggle out some sort of we definitely totally caught the guys type deal with him. So we'll go ahead and do that, and then keep going from there.
All right. So is he anywhere to be seen at all?
Yeah, but by the time you get to the guild hall and come back, he's already there and started to work on the day's breads. It's him and his couple of assistants. They're baking away.
Wait a minute. We have Amir as the face of the party now?
Yeah,
oh, we're so screwed.
It's so unfortunate, but yes.
I'm good at talking. It's fine.
It's.
I'll approach him.
What is Garnet's charisma?
It doesn't matter. Amir's the one who volunteered to go back and do it.
No, I'm just as a question, just so that I can keep track of something real quick. What is Garnet's charisma right now?
She's got 11 total, so nothing to.
Oh, somehow I am now the second most charismatic member of the party, with it being my lowest stat. Lovely.
Yeah, good for you. Better step up when the.
IRL, you have a cat, so I think that's an argument in your favor.
Yeah, he's.
I'll approach Harold. Kind of. I'm more of a grimace on my face, I suppose. I kind of look slightly solemn on the first approach. Kind of ponder for a moment as I get up to him and say, "Oh, I need to remember my character voice. Oh God."
Oh, Jesus.
We caught the thieves. They have been dealt with. Unfortunately, couldn't quite get them to you. There was somewhat of a ruckus, and they were apprehended. However, I hope it is a peace to you that they won't be stealing your bread anymore.
So you turned him into the city guard then?
Unintentionally. I had all manner of reasoning to pass them back to you, and the guards came over, and our compatriot Noon spoke to them and went off and tried to organize a deal so that maybe we could get you speaking to them first, but something happened with them over there, and they all went away, and I was left guarding the goat.
What goat?
No, they had a goat. It's just something they left behind, and I was like, goat.
Run this by me again? No, you're not making a lot of sense.
So the thieves, they were stealing your bread.
Right.
They had a pet goat.
They had a pet goat.
You know the apple cores that were around?
Sure.
That was to feed that goat.
All right. So they brought the goat on the heists with them.
I think they used it to carry their heist tools.
Okay.
So that they weren't, because obviously the heist tools rattle and stuff. I would know, I'm a very good heistist. So that they kept them on the goat when they were, doing the infiltration and the bread snatching. So that when they were obviously taking the bread, no one heard them because their heist tools weren't rattling because they were on the goat.
Oh. All right. So you turned them over to the guards. How did they get in?
Oh, yes, also the goat can teleport. I forgot to mention that. Yeah, that
sounds
was what
so ridiculous, even though it's the most true thing he said.
The goat teleports in with their heist tools and stuff.
It's the true thing he said, and it's the most ridiculous part.
They steal the bread, and they bamf out with the goat, because the goat can teleport. And if you don't believe me, you can go ask the man who bred the goats. And he was like, "Oh, I got a missing goat." And, it's a shame, I don't know where his goat's gone. But they had a similar goat. Probably not the same goat, but a similar goat. And they used it
to bamf.
Yeah. That's precisely it.
That's certainly a new one by me.
It was for me too.
Never heard of something like that.
It's pretty neat, though.
I guess that explains why they were able to get past the traps that I kept setting. But a teleporting goat? It just sounds so bizarre.
Yeah, it's pretty bizarre. So you said traps, like a bear trap, or
I rigged up some makeshift alarm bells on strings and things to try to catch them climbing in the windows. And
so no bear traps then.
No, I never put out a bear trap. It seems a bit harsh. I mean, they're
stealing bread. Bread for a leg for a bread. You know the saying?
This was such a bad idea, but we had no other option.
All right, well,
So you don't have any more thieves?
Oh, okay.
Unless someone else uses the goat.
That's the main point.
Is this not an argument for us keeping the goat?
So he's like, well, okay, I mean, I guess the job well done.
Thank you.
You can see he's still kind of bewildered by the whole thing, but he puts down the tray of hot bread that he was moving out of the oven and goes up to the register and gets the 5 gold that you're due for stopping the bread thieves and hands it over to you and I'll let the guild know that you're that you've crossed this one off the list. I guess.
Excellent. Brilliant. Question.
This
Could
is
I
where
exchange
everything
some of
always
this-
falls apart.
Some of this money for some bread.
Never mind. Never mind.
I'm sorry. You want to buy some bread while you're here?
Yes, I'd love to buy some bread.
Sure. I mean, we've got some loaves fresh out. You're welcome to.
Have you got 4 loaves?
Yeah, we should.
Awesome. I'll take 4 whole loaves. How much would that be?
Call it a gold.
Whew. I think I can spare that. Well, thank you for your generosity. Yes, thank you. I will be going unless there's any more questions you have, or am I done here? I don't really know.
I feel like I have several questions, but
By
think
all means.
we'll just call it a day here.
Oh, okay.
And he'll kind of wave you off and go back down to the basement to keep baking away. Away from
I
the
guess
end.
No,
I'll head back.
Harold's just.
Got this.
We were worried what Harold was going to do. It's like with that ominous, you'll get extra payment if you bring the thieves to me. But Harold's just a nice dude. He probably
Harold's
just
gonna
wanted
feed
to.
them bread.
Yeah,
But
Hey,
you'll
hey,
never
you-
know now.
we'll never know. We'll never know.
Maybe there was a secret murder room somewhere in the basement. We just never found it.
Oh, I should have asked him. God damn it.
You should have asked him if he had a murder basement.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is there a sub basement to your basement where you commit horrific acts of murder and then bake people into your pies? No, that's not something that he
I go
does.
to Harold with Mrs. Lovett.
No,
Okay.
that is a future
It's
play
like-
book in a different town.
It's not the story of Hansel and Harold. No, it would be Harold and Gretel, but whatever. Anyway, moving on.
You tried.
Effort was made.
Tried.
So you
Yeah, I guess I'll head back.
head
That's-
back to meet up. What is everyone else? Are you gonna crash out? It's bright early morning, but you've been up all night at this point.
I'm just sitting there trying to attune to the Luckstone.
Kara's gonna set up her tent out back and and stake out the goat beside her.
Because essentially, my plan is I'm going to attune to this Luckstone, and then I'm going to go try to do some research for on Hydras, because that's what we're doing next.
Okay. So attunement, you need a long rest for.
It's short rest.
No,
I looked it up.
long
I thought it was
rest.
short rest. Look that up real quick. As I know I looked it up yesterday.
Blah, 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 blah.
Search. Mint.
Short rest.
Some magic. Attuning to an item
Okay,
requires a
short-
creature to spend
yeah,
a short
I got
rest
it, I
focused
got it,
only
I got
on
it,
the item.
I got it.
Yep.
I got it. It's fine.
You just didn't want me to get a +1 to everything.
I don't care if you get a +1 to everything. I was looking it up. I didn't need you to look it up. I was looking it up. So you spend a short rest concentrating on that item and only on that item and getting very zen and in tune with it and becoming one with the luck stone. You have a epiphany, and it kicks on, and you're like, oh hey.
And then let me go and edit this one because it doesn't pop it on.
And I say, wait, hey, it's just.
So, by the way, I now have a 20 passive perception. Thanks to that.
Amazing.
Amazing.
Okay.
Without my magic items, I have a 14.
So, short rest there. By that point, Amir would have come back to report success on the baker front. You're gonna keep
Alright.
the 4 gold, or you're gonna divvy it out amongst the party.
Alright, folks, we got paid. I bought everyone a loaf of bread.
So then we each get 1 gold and 1 loaf of bread.
Oh yes, and the gold. There's
Yes.
1 gold each.
All right, add 1 gold.
I'm getting hungry.
Oh wait, I've got a spare piece of gold.
Kara's asleep.
I just kind of like
I'm just gonna pocket the extra gold and the extra loaf.
slightly scared to disturb while sleeping, but just kind of put the gold on the goat and the loaf, kind of just tuck it. I'm assuming you keep your bag separate, right? To when you sleep.
Yeah.
Just kind of put the loaf in the on the top of the bag. And then kind of just run away back to the rest of everyone else.
Just a sec.
All right, what traps is Amir going to set up now? Set up now.
Alright, no, you're safe. This time.
I head back to the others to say, so, we have bread, we have money, what do I do with this extra piece of gold?
Did you not spend that piece of gold on the bread?
Oh, I spend my gold on the bread.
And then take the extra gold. You got
Okay.
us all bread with the way that I saw it is that you spent Noon's gold on the bread and then you kept your gold is the way I would imagine that. This is me Eric talking to you, not Gregory talking to Amir.
This makes sense.
Was trying to do a nice thing for everybody. Buy everybody some bread.
Yeah, no, I get
Go.
you were trying to do a nice. I'm like, we're gonna have. I'm like, it's like you did. I'm like, that's a great way to spend that extra gold. So we're not trying to like finagle that second extra rainiest piece of gold.
Maybe I should have just bought two golds worth of loaves.
Could have done that. That would have been a good idea.
Damn.
So my short rest is over. I asked around if anybody wants to join me looking up information on hydras for the next thing we want to do, and because if you guys are really set on not returning that goat, it's the next thing we're gonna have to do.
I mean, we should discuss what we're gonna do with the goat. Because
we should discuss what we're gonna do with the goat.
I think we should keep the goat.
I think we should keep the goat.
Exactly. See, it's a goat.
Kara thinks they should return the goat.
Kara's asleep.
Kara's asleep.
Right.
Kara
Right.
also has the goat.
We discuss what we're doing with the goat.
Look, it's like I get the feeling that Kara would want to return the goat, and I would want to return the goat, so we're at an even standstill.
I
here.
feel as though Kara would probably want to keep the goat.
I'm sorry, I've not Cat
I-
I know for a fact Cat does not want to keep the goat.
I know that, but I just
But I'm also
really
not
want
going to
the
be the
goat.
one to wake Kara up, because I don't want to
wanna
die
do that.
today.
Yes.
All right. Here is my thought. This specific goat does not like me.
We buy another
If
goat.
we can return the goat and get like a baby goat, that would be preferable.
I mean, I feel as though a baby goat isn't going to be, as good at teleporting.
A baby goat would be a lot more manageable than the size large goat that's strapped outside back with care right now.
Yeah, but it's like you can't ride a baby goat.
To be fair, the baby goat is also more likely to give us away if we're trying to be sneaky. Have you ever had a goat? They're not quiet.
Also, just gonna lay that out there. A large goat also was not very quiet.
Fine. What if we buy a silent goat? What if we buy a silent goat? We find the goat that never speaks. We find the silent goat.
But equally, if it's a goat that can make noise, it could potentially be sort of like a guard. Because when we're trying to get into our things, there's a goat. They surprise the goat. The goat yells. We know someone's trying to get into our things.
And the
You guys are so set on getting an animal mascot. We have an animal mascot. It's Cricky, and Cricky's very upset right now.
Yes, but can he teleport?
I like Cricky, but I also like the idea of a teleporting goat. Cricky can't teleport me, as much as I love Cricky.
Yet.
I mean, technically, Cricky can do any touch-based spells that I can cast. Technically. I mean, Misty Step's not a touch-based spell, so he can't do that.
So in other words, he can't teleport.
In other words, he can't teleport. But,
Yeah,
I mean, no, he can teleport. Can't teleport, watch. All right, so I send Cricky to the other side of the room, and I temporarily dismiss him, and then temporarily make him reappear at a different point in the room.
Okay,
Technically,
okay.
he can't
That wouldn't
teleport.
work for us. That's our point.
Tell Cricky to grab onto my arm and then teleport me to you.
You know what? All right, fine. He can't teleport other people. I can't teleport other people. Fine.
See?
Fine.
I knew it.
But you seem to believe this is just because we don't think Cricky's enough. That's not the case. I just think we should have a menagerie in friends.
Why don't we just retire and set up like a goat farm? No, I'm kidding. That was a joke.
I don't know. I kind of like that idea. We have plenty of gold for it.
I feel as though just shy of 2,000 gold is not enough to start a wealthy goat farm.
All right. How
You'd
about
also need
this?
more than one goat.
How about
20 goats.
this? Hare is out back, keeping an eye on the goat. Why don't you two go check out the goat farmer, and then maybe get a beat on him. I'll go research the Hydra for the next thing we're gonna do, so we can find where's a good place to go to get a Hydra heart. You two get a beat on the goat farmer, and then we'll reconvene here and decide what we do. Don't give away that we already have the goat. Just get a beat on him. I mean, some people might have already seen us with the goat. That might be an issue, but
It's a different goat.
get a beat on the goat farmer. Get a beat on the goat farmer.
We found a mystery goat. We don't know where it's from. Could be from some other. Could be from some other breed.
Get a beat on the guy. I'll go research a Hydra. Kara's looking after the goat. Noon's taking care of the kids right now. Good. Is everybody okay with that plan? Except for Kara, who can't hear this because she's out back sleeping.
I suddenly feel like Kara should have secretly returned the goat while pretending to go to sleep. But just
I mean, that would have been very funny.
That would have been great.
I would have been furious. No, I'm kidding.
Well, we should probably leave a note for Care so Care knows what's going on.
Yeah, I'll leave a note for Kara.
Tell her to just keep an eye on the goat. Don't do anything with the goat.
Yeah. The note will read: went out to research Hydra and check out the goat farmer. Keep an eye on the goat while we are gone.
Excellent. To the goat farmer.
They head to the goat farmer. I head to the library to go try to figure out where we can go to get a Hydra heart.
Okay. All right, let's deal with the farm first.
Yeah.
So after checking the notice on the notice board for the missing goat, you learn that the person who put up the notice, his name is Dorian Eckert, and you get directions to where his farm is. It is outside of the city walls, but not too far away. It's just, in like a little rural hamlet outside of town, kind of a deal. So it will take you a little while to walk yourself out there, but not super long. And so just a 2 you were going.
I just noticed that Care rolled a d20. Was that for Amir? Okay, I just noticed that.
So this is you two arriving at the farm. Doesn't take you super long to get there, but it's a little bit of a hike. So we're looking at probably around a little before lunchtime at this point. And you approach the farm. You don't see Dorian or anyone else as you immediately approach. He is off elsewhere. What would you like to do as you walk up to this farm?
I've got a brilliant way of trying to find him.
Are you just going to yell, "Hey, goat farmer"? Because that's what I was going to do.
I was going to do this. Goat man? Hello? Goat man? Are you there? Goat man?
So I give Amir a lot of shit, but he's one of my favorite characters.
All right, so you call out for him. Let's see.
If he doesn't respond to this, then I don't think he's a goat farmer.
Does not. You don't get any kind of an answer or anything of that sort.
Can I try bleating loudly like a goat?
You can, yeah.
I should have sent them Cricky, and Cricky could have mimicked the goat noise. But I have Cricky to help me.
So that's what you're attempting is
Yeah.
goat mimicry.
Please go ahead. Let's hear this.
I'm not doing it myself.
No, let's go
please do it yourself and roll performance. That's what I would hope.
It's either performance or nature for how well you can recall the sound.
I'm gonna assume you're gonna go for nature. Oh, I don't like the look on that face.
It wasn't in that one? It just wasn't very high?
It didn't pass on to the...
There it comes. That's not terrible. So you do the best you can to replicate the sound of a goat calling out, and again, you don't seem to get any response or reply. Make perception checks for me.
$26.
Oh, God. This was...
Okay, so
the whole thing.
You call out for the farmer and you don't hear any replies or anything like that, and you goat bleat. I think it's bleat. I think bleat like a goat. And listen again. You don't get any replies. You don't see him coming out, but then you do hear the sound of a man shouting coming from this barn that's on the other side of this gate here. This barn up here. And it seems a little frustrated. You can't make out exactly what he's saying at this distance, but he's yelling loud enough that you can hear him. So he's a little on the frustrated side. Seems to be trying to maybe like train an animal or something. There's a lot of
yelling
and frustration is what you're picking up at this distance.
All right, so here's the
thing. There's a goat.
Here's the thing. I'm pretty sure that from the little bits that I've already gotten, I think we're going to end up keeping the goat.
I do hope. We'll see what happens.
By the way, I think...
my initial premonition is that we're going to end up keeping this goat.
I think that your goat impression was phenomenal, and I would like to congratulate you on such a great impression of a goat.
Also, did Garnet roll? Because I also didn't see that one either.
I did roll.
It did. It just came through as a whisper.
I'm not entirely sure why I did that.
Just check your settings real quick.
Yeah, check your beyond 20 settings. The top option should be whisper rolls. You probably have it set to always whisper. But what are we doing?
I suppose we'll head towards the sounds of the shouting. I'll probably end up waffling about something, saying, "It would be a great shame if there were no goat man here to buy this wonderful goat that we have. We have a goat with us. It is a very small goat. It is about 3 centimeters long and 5 centimeters high. Would you like this goat, goat man?"
Remember about 5 minutes ago when I said Amir was my favorite character? But this is why I give him a hard time.
Yeah.
We're gonna die.
So you've moved up at this point. Yes?
Yep.
And started your sales pitch. And with that, eventually, Dorian does hear that there's people outside of his barn, and he comes out and gives you who are you? What do you want? What is this about a tiny goat? What?
Tiny goat? I can make tiny goats.
No, you don't. What?
I mean, I could. I could make a tiny goat if I wanted to.
I don't like the sound of that. Please don't make a tiny goat.
Okay, I won't make a tiny goat. Anyway, Mr.
I just realized that this is a combination we haven't experimented with yet.
Mr. Eckhart, right?
Yes.
Wonderful to meet you, my good sir.
Why? What brings you to my farm today?
We were inquiring about a notice you left in the guild hall about a goat, which is why I thought I'd better approach and be speaking the goat lingo. I thought that would appeal to you more, but
So, did you find him? Did you bring?
Well, no, we've come to ask some questions.
Looking behind you, did you?
No, but we're working on it. Can I ask you some questions?
We have to lead. We've heard some interesting things about goats in town.
Leads,
we thought we'd
that's
come
funny.
and ask some questions.
Leads, get it? Goats, leads. That's quite funny. I like that.
Perhaps I should lead this inquiry, Amy.
Fine.
What kind of questions do you have? I already posted all the information I had on the notice. They had been spotted in the market, eating apples, I think is what the vendor told me, but they weren't able to wrangle him. He got away, and nobody's been able to pin him down yet.
Why does the goat teleport? I know your secret. What have you been doing?
You sound like a jealous business rival, Amy.
Maybe I am. Maybe I'm starting a rival sort of goat farming business. How would one get into? Don't answer that one. Anyway, we heard mysterious things in the market when we went to investigate that the goat teleported. Why does it teleport? That's kind of strange.
I want to know how it teleports.
I mean, that might be a bit visceral.
I would like to know who it teleports. Actually, we know who teleports. It was the kids.
It's a blink goat, okay? I just put a lot of effort and a lot of effort into breeding farm animals that are capable of teleporting themselves around. I think it's the
Wait, have you got other animals that can teleport, not just goats?
well, Charlie's my most successful attempt so far. That's why I need him back so badly. He's the only one who's good at it so far.
Your goat is called Charlie.
Yeah.
That's a good name for a goat.
It's a very good name for a goat.
It suits him. But he's the only one who's actually been any good at it so far. I think this is the future of agriculture, right? You take your sheep out to graze in a field, right? And they get attacked by wolves. You're going to fend them off by yourself, a pack of wolves? No, but if the sheep can teleport themselves away from the wolf, then no problem, right? They just poof, and the wolves can't catch them. Then poof.
I do think that sounds like a good idea, but consider, it's time to shear your sheep. As soon as you catch a sheep, it teleports, and you can't shear them.
Well, that's why we gotta train them. I'm refining the method, right? They're like Charlie's good at it. You tell him to blink, and he blinks on command. I got him trained. I need to get him back so I can learn how to teach the rest of them how to do that. He's gotta work with his friends here, and that's why I need him back so badly.
Are your plans just to sell blink goats?
Well, not just goats. I mean, once I really perfect the method, right? Once I learn how to get more of them to be as good at it as Charlie is, we could do blink sheep and blink cows, right? Cattle, that'd be a good one. Maybe they're a little big, but
I like the idea of a blink duck or a blink chicken myself.
What? Yes, exactly. It's a whole future of farming. I know. I just need a couple more tries, and I really need Charlie back in order to figure out what the trick is. There's a trick to it. I'm just not sure what it is yet.
Isn't this a perversion of the god's image of nature?
That's really nice.
You could argue the same way that a human being able to teleport.
I'm really glad that cares.
For some reason,
right now.
Gregory just feels very offended.
I mean, no, because they harness magic and stuff, but these creatures are just, grazing, and then they're being, magicified. I feel as though that's...
But it's not that they're being magicified. If they're being bred to do it, then it's already part of them. It's not like it happens when they're already grown up.
How long have you had Jerry, or whatever his name was?
Charlie.
Okay. Charles.
Well, I've raised him since he was just a little kid.
It's funny, because a young goat is called a kid. I like it. Because it also... never mind. So, were his parents... goat parents... Were his parents also teleporting goats?
There was some mixed success in there. That some of them could kind of do it. That there's just a few accidents, but they're learning. They're getting the hang of it. It's just...
Wait.
I'm worried about these accidents.
Yeah, what do you mean by accidents? Like there's a dead man or something?
I was thinking more along the lines of a goat teleported halfway through a wall and stuck.
Or halfway through another goat.
That only happened once. And we got them loose. It just, that's why I just need Charlie back. He's the key. He knows how to do it. He can teach the others. I just need him back. I need a little...
Wait a minute. Is this even legal?
Well, sure.
That didn't sound...
animal husbandry. It's just very common practice on farms.
God, one of you please make an insight check.
There's no against making goats able to teleport then.
I feel as though this is very illegal.
Is it really illegal if there's not a law there yet?
There are casualties. There are lives at stake here. What if these goats that can teleport become, like a hive mind and there's like a goat insurrection or something? Who knows
See,
what
I feel like
tainting
you
these...
took several steps along the way of how this could be used for negative purposes, such as using it for, I don't know, crime.
Crime's irrelevant. What if...
I don't feel like crime is irrelevant.
Tainting these creatures with magic could lead to sentience, and therefore goat insurrection. I feel as though that would be bad for
Why are
everyone.
you so focused on goat insurrection?
As a +1 to wisdom, it does have... It is at least wise.
I really, I don't foresee that being a problem. I mean, this is a very...
Maybe
I don't want to say common. I'm pretty sure I'm the only person who's managed to get this far. But animal husbandry is a long-standing tradition. We've been doing this for generations. It's just, I really don't understand why this is such a big deal. I
feel as though you're not taking in all of the precautions that you could.
Can we have enough of this goat insurrection?
Okay.
That's the danger here.
Maybe the goat insurrection is not a danger, but you should at least prepare for a goat insurrection.
I feel like as the person
blade at
who's
your
feeding the
side.
goats and feeding the goats, I feel like the farmer is going to be all right.
I will.
So we're the ones in danger.
Definitely monitor them for organizational concerns. If they look like they're starting to mobilize, I will.
Good, excellent.
Be sure to sound an alarm.
Excellent.
How about this? Just to soothe nerves, should there be any hint that they're being used, that they're going to have an insurrection? I think it's unlikely to, but just to soothe his nerves, these are our guild member numbers. You can contact us through the guild and we'll sort it out.
Sure, that seems very reasonable.
If there are any signs of a goat insurrection, call me, and I will stop it.
At 555...
I'm like the John Connor of...
Call me at 1-800-THE-GOAT.
Yeah.
The goat man.
But we're looking for your goat. How much of a loss would it be if your goat had ended up, worst possible outcome, deceased?
Are you stressing out the farmer? Why are you doing this? We can just look to the goat.
I'm just asking, as in, I just want to make sure that we can get the goat back in one piece, or try to. But if it was maybe missing a leg, would that be, acceptable?
Jesus Christ,
No, that wouldn't.
Hey man, what?
Why are you threatening?
A goat can
to hurt
stand
my
with...
goat?
No, I'm not threatening to hurt your goat, but what if some nefarious people have your goat, and they happen to threaten to cut the leg off?
You're making yourself sound like a nefarious person.
Why do I keep letting Amir go places without me?
I don't know, but you're not
Why
there.
don't any of us?
What I'm
Why am
trying
I
to
the
say,
responsible one?
what I'm trying to say, Mr. Eckhart, is that there could be considerable danger surrounding your goat. And I want to ensure that your goat does not fall into the hands of danger, but I want you to be prepared for the fact that your goat could be possibly injured. Do you understand?
I feel like he's probably had to worry about that since the goat went missing.
Yes, but it always helps to have someone who, lays what's on the table in a blatant and abrasive way, and that's my speciality.
I appreciate
Why
you
will you let me do this?
reaffirming my fears so succinctly.
I'm sure your goat is fine. Right, thank you. We'll do our best to find your goat. And please ignore my paranoid friend.
How much was it for the return of the goat?
20 gold pieces.
So your goat is worth 20 gold pieces. That's a fair amount of gold.
It was everything I could scrape together.
I'm surprised that magic goat farming isn't more profitable. Or are you not on the market yet?
No, it's why Charlie's the only one who's really been good at it so far. That's why I'm so desperate to have him back. If I lose him, I almost have to start all over again. It'll take generations to get back to where we were.
Thank you very much. Now, come on, let's go goat searching.
Before we leave, I would like to make an insight check just to see if this guy has been wholly truthful.
Okay.
Because I think he's going to be, mobilizing the goats against us. That's
So,
one.
That's a insight on
Ho!
whether he's secretly planning a goat insurrection.
Well, and the fact that what he told us was truthful or
Yeah.
not.
I think Amir needs some sleep, is what Amir needs.
I
Pushing
think
it.
you're very much right.
Pushing that point of exhaustion. Been awake for a full 24 hours. Starting to feel the effects of that sleep deprivation a little.
Worrying about goat insurrections.
Yeah. As far as you can tell, he seems to have been on the up and up. There may have been some underplaying of how many oopses there's been in the process, but in terms of like his intentions seem decent, if a bit mad science
Guided.
Yeah.
On like any of like the rock walls on the air, are there any blood stains?
Not that you noticed with that high perception check.
Okay. This man is not viscerally cutting up his goats. I think we can leave. I'm happy.
Alright, it's my time to
Alright, I turn around, grasp Ava's shoulder and start pushing him down the path to leave the goat farm.
I think that man likes his goats.
A healthy amount.
Maybe.
Appropriate.
Alright.
An appropriate, healthy, proper amount.
Yeah.
Mad scientist for goats. There's nothing wrong with that.
All right. So the two of you head back towards town to relay everything that you've learned about Dorian to the rest of the group and make your decision on whether or not you intend to steal his prize-winning goat.
I feel as though it's not stealing.
Definitely kind of feels like stealing.
It's
Just-
absolutely 100%
just, you know,
stealing.
Making a
Look,
objective observation.
alright.
Okay, so Gregory, you've gone off in search of a library of some sort or anywhere that you could potentially
Yeah.
research Hydra locations.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see.
So I head off there. Do you have any maps loaded? Because I definitely said this at the end of last session, so I hope you have some map loaded that could work.
To do research?
Well, to at least work as a location for me to be at, or just pull up the main map and just show me where I am.
Yeah, I'll take care of that for you. So we're gonna go ahead and add this down here. You head off and make an investigation check for me.
Oh, of course. Yeah. Let me hold that. I'll just. This is a. Can I get Cricky to help me?
No, not for this.
Okay.
Wouldn't realistically be able to help.
Oh fuck.
Hmm.
I mean, I rolled a 4, but it's still an 11.
Yeah. So you go in search of somewhere to find the information that you're looking for. You don't have a lot of success on that front. You try a few bookstores and things of that sort, looking for kind of nature tomes, not anthropology books, zoology books, those kinds of things. Not really turning up a whole lot. Then you remember that the
Bison.
the notice
What do I remember?
directed you to a shop to pick up a jar of preservation to put the heart in to bring it back to him. And you think, well, maybe I should ask that guy. He probably knows. He's the one who wants the heart in the first place.
All right.
So you, yeah.
I'll go head over there and ask him some questions then.
Okay. So you head over to his shop, which his shop is out here in the Plaza Market.
All right.
And pop into his shop. He gives you a, good morning, how are you? Nice to meet you. What can I do for you today? That kind of small talky stuff.
Hi. Yeah. I'm with the guild, and I saw this notice here about obtaining a Hydra heart, and I was just curious about where I would even be able to go find a Hydra in the first place, because my group and I are interested in taking on this task.
All right. He reaches behind the counter and he pulls up a pretty decently big jar and kind of plops it down on the counter. He's like, well, you're going to need one of these. You want one, right? It's just a couple of gold.
Yeah. I believe the note said it was 7 gold, was it? Memory serves.
7 or 9. Double check.
It was 7 or 9. It was a below 10 odd number of gold. I remember that.
9 for the jar.
9 for the jar. Okay, yeah, that's fine. I'll hand over 9 gold.
Mm-hmm. So that'll do nicely there. And then, so have you hunted Hydra before?
No, that's we're looking to get into the market, which is why I was looking to do some research on Hydras before we head off sort of blindly, so that we know what we're getting into before we head off.
All right. With that, he'll kind of go down under the counter again and pull up a map of the surrounding area and let you know that.
All right.
The last 2 that came in and bought jars, I sent them over this way, and it's gonna point you out this way, north of Hercad, along the coast.
North of Hercad.
Yeah, out that way. That was the best information I was able to get before I started asking people to go get me one. Was that would be a good place to look for some. They haven't come back yet, but it's a decent trip out there and back. So they might be en route. I not really sure, to be honest.
Now, it's like, have I been at this specific guild hall long enough to have any idea of anybody who would have made that trip?
Let's see. No, you do know that if you check in with the guildmaster, they can let you know who went out on the quest, because they have to, sign up for it.
Right.
They log you as attempting the quest, so you do know that you can ask that information from them if you'd like to, but you're not currently familiar with anybody who may have already gone on it.
I do have to ask, why is it that you want this Hydra heart?
Oh, it's an ingredient in a new kind of potion that I'm working on. It's medicinal purposes, of course. The regenerative properties of the Hydra, I'm trying to tap into those in order to create a better healing potion.
Honestly, it's like makes sense. Honestly, makes sense. Heart of the Hydra would definitely have some sort of regenerative properties. Right, so obviously, I saw that, but Gregory, that is maybe a question for Amir to ask later, because honestly, we don't know. For those of you who can't see our Discord chat, Amir wants me to ask for one as payment.
Not a Hydra.
Oh no! I know you meant
potion.
Regenerative potions. Yeah.
Add it to the
I
menagerie that
want
you're
to have a
building.
Hydra.
Yeah.
If we give the goat in,
Maybe
give the goat in,
Okay. No. We are not having a pet Hydra. I draw the line there. We are not having a pet Hydra.
It's not much different to a goat.
But imagine riding it in a battle.
I'm coming around to this Noah's Ark campaign. We just collect two of every animal on our quest to level 20.
All right, so I will ask what made you want how did you get the information to send the other groups to the position that you sent them to, the north of Hercad?
Word of mouth. I checked with some other apothecaries. A few of us have been kind of dabbling in this sort of a project for a long time. We were finally started making some serious headway. That's why we're looking to get the heart now. Earlier in the process, it would have just gone bad waiting for us to get the rest of the ingredients figured out and things. But we're pretty sure that we've got it worked out now. So we've been doing a lot of research on the creature to better understand how it functions and things. So that's what we had a half decent idea of where they might be nesting, but we're not really 100% sure.
All right. Like that all honestly that all pretty much checks out. So even with the preservation jar, just carrying a heart, if I've learned anything from Rat Race, it's not an easy task. You got to go really fast.
Mm-hmm.
If I've learned
I
anything from
haven't
watching Rat
heard
Race
a reference to that movie in a long time.
All right, yeah. I was like, I still, it's like I'm definitely we're definitely interested in going there, taking on this job. So, yeah, I bought the preservation jar. I'll head back to my group. I'm sure they'll all be excited that we're going to be taking on Hydra because they're itching for some more adventurous tasks. It's like we just stopped a bread thief, and but we're really hoping that we get to. It's like, and honestly, if you can get this regenerative potion, honestly, I've one of my party members. She's missing an arm, and hopefully, if this potion's able to bring her back her arm, I think she'd be very grateful for it. And hopefully, I'll maybe try to keep that as a surprise for her, maybe in my back pocket. But that might actually help us out a lot. So, thank you. I'm probably gonna just try to dig up a little more information on Hydras before we head out. But we'll be heading out soon enough.
All right. Well, best of luck. I hope you come back triumphant. Do remember not to damage the heart. We need
of course.
We need it in its mint condition as possible, please.
Of course. No. Precision is very important when it comes to organ transplants. I know that. Right. So and I head off from the market and head back to the guild hall.
Okay.
But also remembering that there's bookcases at the Elias, and I'll maybe just pop in there real quick and check those bookcases, just in case.
Sure. Go ahead and make an investigation check for the pit stop at the Elias Inn.
Hopefully this one's a bit better. This one's gonna be another normal roll. Come on. Oh, that's way better. Oh my god, yes.
A little bit better. So you scan through the shelves that they have, a lot of it is fluff reading, right? It's all kind of like pulpy fiction kind of stuff. It's light reading for travelers and whatnot. It's not really a lot of heavy duty stuff. You do find a book that mentions hydras in a fictional context. It's like a story of a knight rescuing a princess from a dragon kind of a thing. That does mention that they're quite hardy and very difficult to kill, unless you are smart enough to bring fire with you.
Fire, yes. All right.
So you do get that little tidbit of information about them. But otherwise, there isn't like a map that like charts hydra nesting grounds or anything like that.
Right. No, for this, I was more so looking for damage, weaknesses, and resistances. So getting to know that is helpful. Right.
So at this point,
anybody? No, I was just gonna head over to the usual table and try to check to see if Garnet and Amir have returned. Then also, actually, before I do that, I would run around back and check on Care.
Okay. So Care,
having just heard this possible breakthrough about maybe her getting her arm back.
You've been sleeping away most of the morning. It's not quite a full long rest yet, just kind of guesstimating the hours. You're probably looking at maybe another hour or two from when Gregory
I'll be very quiet
to when you are ready to be awoken. But you are sleeping away, and let's see. Okay, Gregory, as you approach, you see Care and the goat both kind of chilling out in the little pup tent that Care sets up in the back there. Seems to just be chilling. Everything looks fine. The goat hasn't gone feral and tried to eat Care or anything.
All right.
Is the loaf of bread still on the bag, or is the goat eating it?
The goat has eaten it.
You know what? That's about what I was expecting. All right. I'm going to, since I haven't slept at all, I'm going to head back inside, get myself the largest cup of coffee possible.
Amir is just fallen asleep on like one of the tables. Not like on the table, but just at a chair, just
which is interesting since Amir doesn't actually need to sleep.
Yeah, well, I mean,
it does need to trance.
4 hours trancing.
Kind of like sitting in a chair, trying to sleep, you know, because wanting to try to kind of be somewhat normal as opposed to trancing. But just kind of sitting in a chair with his eyes closed, just
planning some more of those cotton candy crimes.
Oh, there's no more cotton candy crimes. Half the cotton candy's gone.
They're down to one flavor.
It's sad, honestly.
Pig, he is a cotton candy crime.
Yeah. So, Garnet, what are you doing? Are you chilling out with Amir? Or are you off doing something else of your own here in the guild hall? Or
Garnet's sitting next to Amir eating, if that helps.
Okay. I was just checking if there was anything else you wanted to do if you're just chilling. So, Gregory, you come back, you see the two of them sitting at the table that you typically plop yourselves down at after checking in on Care. So you can stroll up, give them the 411. You can trade info on the goat farmer and how nice and kind and fatherly to his goats he seems to be. All that fun stuff.
All right, so it's like Do you guys share full information, just so that we can skip over the recap?
Nope.
Do you leave anything out?
Definitely.
Amir has
I don't leave anything out. Like found that like about Amir think idea of a goat insurrection.
the goat farmer.
It's like honestly, that's probably the most intelligent thing that Amir's ever said. So
the goat farmer is.
it is. Honestly, if he seems on the up and up. If look, I honestly I see both sides of this. Yeah, farm animals being able to teleport out of danger would be very, very helpful, and also farm animals being able to teleport could be very, very dangerous.
I also think that, the farmer is like a bad guy. He's probably, committed at least 13 crimes in his life.
How many crimes have you committed? Remind me.
Amir, how many crimes have you committed in the last week?
In the last week, I think only 2.
Right. So to match his lifetime for you would be about 2 months.
No, because it's not. I don't know. I have to commit 2 crimes every week.
I mean, has this been a fairly average week for you? It's like
no, it's 13, been above average.
Honestly, 13. It's like 13 crimes over a lifetime. It's like sure, not great. 13 crimes over like 2 months, a little worse. Okay. So it's like in the grand scheme of things, he might not be that bad. Just on the by your estimate of 13 crimes in a lifetime, not awful.
But he's a goat farmer, so he shouldn't be committing crimes.
Right.
I'm not a goat farmer. I almost was, but I'm not.
So what I'm thinking is it's entirely possible that it's like not being able to talk to the kids right now. They probably saw the goat. They were hanging out outside the gate. Saw the goat. Saw that he was able to be able to command him to blink, and they took him as opposed to him escaping on his own, which was probably like my number one fear. But it's like it's like I just saw him. He's still out back, just chilling with Care. So I don't think that this goat has led like an awful life, other than maybe sort of the eugenics of selective breeding, but that's just farming. But I will say that it's like at this point he needs Charlie more to train than he does, and also clearly for breeding purposes still, yeah. But just to sort of be able to behaviorally pass down these traits to the goats, and I think goats that can teleport and are not trained are probably way more dangerous.
I figured it out.
All right,
the goat farmer isn't the insurrectionist. The kids were trying to start the goat insurrection.
So we stopped it. There. We stopped the goat insurrection.
Okay, so there's no danger.
No danger.
Excellent.
No danger. I say.
So we return the goat.
We return the goat. Maybe if he gets a better handle on training the goats, we adopt a young goat. How about that?
We come back later on and buy a goat legally. Purchase a goat.
Yeah.
If he doesn't want to sell the goats, then we steal them. That was a joke.
No.
That was a joke. Okay.
And then I relay everything about there being other groups that had gone off after the Hydra they haven't returned, and also what I've learned from the fairy tale book at the Elias Inn.
So
I maybe don't entirely share the whole fairy tale nature of the book that I got the information from, but
Well, not it's. They got to remember this is real. Their real life, so it's not a fairy tale. It's just a fictional book.
Right.
It's like a Tom Clancy novel.
Right. Oh, yeah. Oh, if it was more like a Tom Clancy novel, yeah, then I might.
So,
What is the D&D equivalent to Tom Clancy?
I honestly have no idea.
there,
Tom de Clancy.
Tom de Clancy. It's T'_HOMDEE Clancy.
I buy it.
Oh god.
Sounds fantasy enough. So at this point, you guys have had your little chat. You've sort of come to a strained consensus on the goat situation. It's just about safe to wake Care up, having had a nice long, full bit of sleep. At this point, I am going to need Gregory and Amir to make Constitution saving throws. Because you have been up,
That sounds about right.
have been up for a full 24 hours plus.
All right, what do I got here? 13?
Okay, so
Better than 5.
Amir, you're going to take a level of exhaustion, but Gregory, you're okay. But you're definitely feeling like you're going to need to get a nap in here soon, or you're going to be in trouble.
Yeah. It's
So
like I got my coffee to sort of tide me over until
Perk you
I
up.
can get to sleep. Yeah.
So this Hydra lives on the coast.
Yeah, it lives on the coast, north of whatever. I've already forgot the name of the town. I mean, Gregory didn't. Eric Hercad. Yes, that was it. North of Hercad. You know the village that we were, suspecting that we might have to go to look for a Hydra. So I feel probably what the best plan of action would be, since you said there's a guild hall there, right? Right, Kim?
In Hercad, yeah. It's not as big as this one, but they do have
So
Didn't we go to Hercad
so
in one of the first couple sessions?
it. Yes, that's where you picked up the compass from.
Yeah, I knew I remembered it.
we'll head to Hercad. Set up there, and then just head north looking for a Hydra. And
I want to do some shopping first. See if I can maybe get something so that you said fire was good, right?
fire. Yeah, fire.
Yeah. See if I can get something to set these.
There
bad
was an
boys on
interesting
fire.
shop in Hercad that might be worth checking out.
Sorry, say that again.
There's
There's an interesting
shop
shop in Hercad.
Yeah.
Interesting, as in probably a superficial storefront. Did they do dodgy deals, or as in it just had
Do
some
you
cool
remember
stuff?
that weird compass?
This
that you
one?
had? Yes, that one. That's where we found it.
Cool.
All right.
I dig it. All right.
All right.
Then tomorrow we go to midday tomorrow. I just want to do a brief check around the the market and stuff, and maybe see if there's anything here, and then we can head to the cool shop.
What time is it right now?
Right now, you're looking at like a late lunchish time frame.
We got time to go to the shops now.
I think it might be better for the two of you to go to sleep.
Have you guys slept at all?
No.
I'm fine. I'm great. I got my coffee. I'm good. I could go for like another 3 days, honestly.
Are we allowed to sit on the tables here? Is that something we're allowed to do?
It's
Amir,
frowned upon.
absolutely. He needs needs to go to sleep, but me, I'm fine. I got my coffee. I got my coffee. I got like a triple shot of espresso in it. It's like I'm good. Man. I can do a little bit of shopping. There is something that I want to go down and shop for myself. I'll go shopping. I'll be right back. I will get some sleep. I promise. I will get some sleep. I'm going to go to the shop.
I might go sit in a park for 4 hours, enjoy the nature, and meditate.
I shall go and return Charlie to bed. Because we should rather do it before we forget.
Yeah, you can go meet up with Kara. I'm gonna head to the shop. I do have something that I do want to buy. So
before you go, can we, right, everyone? Can we make a bet real quick? I'm gonna put down 5 gold that whilst shopping, Gregory is gonna fall asleep due to sleep deprivation.
I'm not taking that bet.
Oh, come on!
No, never.
You know you want it. Well, if you go on then, Gregory. If you don't think that you're gonna fall asleep, then put 5 gold again.
20 gold. 20 gold. I'll stay up.
All right, I'll match that. 20 gold against you.
And then cast sleep on you.
Whoa. All right, sure. I'm still.
I look at Cricky, look Cricky in the eyes, and I say, "Okay, Cricky, if he collapses, come get us."
Right, yeah. Amir can't cast sleep right now. He's already used it.
No, but Care can cast sleep right now.
Care's still out back.
No,
No,
Care's sitting at the table.
Right, Care did come in. That's right. I forgot. Yeah. I'm too hopped up on caffeine to remember.
All right, well, I'm gonna go find a park. Peace out, folks.
Why don't you just sleep out back like I do?
It's not very serene.
I mean, it looks pretty serene back there.
No, I want a park. I want a park bench.
All right, do as you wish.
Man, you're literally in.
Oh wait, also be careful that you don't get taken while you're sleeping.
Beds and stuff. But sure, go find a park bench. Sleep
well, I like to be surrounded by nature.
Sure.
Any trances, so it's fine.
Okay, so Kara and Garnet are
pretty much
to return the goat.
The goat.
Okay.
Yeah. And I'm gonna head to the shop and maybe look to get a different set of armor because now that I have gold, I can try to maybe get my armor class up by 1 by looking for some scale mail or split mail rather.
We can look into that for you. Get that out of the way here. Okay, so you head out of town to the farm, being familiar with where it is after your previous visit there, Garnet. You kind of lead the way here a bit and arrive, which, let's see, it's afternoon now. So you, as you arrive, you see Dorian is out in the field now, kind of tending through things a bit, just kind of giving everything a once-over, pruning some weeds out of the crop and all that kind of stuff. So you do see him kind of off in the distance there a bit.
She's just gonna knock loudly on the door. And just, excuse me, is anyone, excuse me, we have your goat, sir.
Well, you don't get an answer because he's not anywhere near there.
And she's gonna poke his head out. I guess see him out in the back.
I look at the goat and I say, "Hey, Charlie, where's your human? Where's your farming person?" You never know. He might be able to. Goats have a better sense of smell than us. He might be able to track him.
And honestly, has a +1 to wisdom, so he might be able to make that perception check.
Yeah, I just thought it was funny that you described him as your farming person. That's all. was like, sure, that seems very reasonable.
I'm also going to say his dad.
Well. Nope, he is spun all which way around between the kids and then you guys, and then he's a bit discombobulated, a little scatterbrained, so he does not pick up Dorian's, presence.
All right. Well, Care is going to take his leash and walk him out to the
Can I go
field.
to where I saw him earlier, and then if I don't see him there, just yell, "I have your goat."
All right, so you're gonna head over this way to the barn, check inside, and when you don't see him, just give a holler, essentially. Okay, so you hear Dorian out in the field call back, "You did! You got him!" And he starts kind of, not like dead sprinting, but he's running in your direction pretty quick.
I look at Charlie and I say, "Go get him, Charlie."
And
I'd like to add, I said this in a baby voice. I go, "Go get him, Charlie! Go get him!"
Okay. Everybody's over here then. So Charlie runs over, and there's a big hug. It's a large goat, so he doesn't have to kneel down to get the hug in. He just kind of like, and it looks very, very happy to see Charlie back and safe and sound, not missing any legs after earlier conversations of today. He's just like doing a, yeah. Oh, he's
1,
he's
2,
fine.
and 3. All right.
I
That's all
promise
good.
I did not let my companion near his legs.
This is so great. I'm so glad you found him so fast. You were just here a couple hours ago. I mean, I'm amazed you're able to work so quickly.
Yeah, as I said earlier, we had some leads, and it turns out the very first one we checked and we found him.
Care is going to narrow her eyes and look very suspiciously at Garnet.
He was stealing our bread. It was unfortunate. So I hope it doesn't give him an upset tummy.
I think he'll be fine. He's looking well fed, well taken care of. I'm surprised he's actually.
They were using your goat for crime, my friend. You may want to keep a closer eye on them if this might become a continual issue.
They? Who's they?
It was a group of thieves.
Children. You were on the children's side last session.
You're not there. Shut up.
I know.
I was. No.
It's like I'm just curious about the inconsistency in your character.
I'm just trying to impress upon the man that his blinking goats, while an interesting idea, are culpable in crime. And that he should maybe be aware of the fact that people will use his blink animals for crime, and it may come about to bite him in the butt.
The secret ingredient to crime in this realm is teleporting goats. I turn to Farmer and I say, perhaps you should consider some guards for your goats so they can't be stolen again.
Yeah, I'm still surprised that they managed to. I mean, I thought that he just got himself loose. I didn't even consider that somebody might try to steal him. I didn't know anybody really knew about him that way, that they'd be able to take advantage of him like that.
Well, maybe so they were. I don't know. I think they might have found him, but anyway, they were using him for crime. So you should just be aware. Keep an eye on your animals. Make sure you watch out for people sneaking around and all that.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I'm really shocked. Did you catch the thieves?
We did, yes, and they have been now placed in a appropriate circumstances.
Oh, that sounds a little iffy. But all right, all right. Well, I got him back. He's in one piece. It's 20 gold. It's I believe the just give me a minute. I'll go get that for you. And he
No
puts
problem.
himself inside, comes back with a little pouch that's got the 20 gold in it that you are due for successfully retrieving his goat for him. I thank you so much for this. I will definitely be extra cautious going forward, especially if as we get more successes. We'll definitely need to keep a close eye on all of them. Yeah, this is fantastic. So like he's not like, but you can tell that he's a little weepy, just from the like being having Charlie safe and sound is a huge sigh of relief for him. That's why he was willing to part with that much gold. Um, so yeah.
I pat Charlie on the head and say, "Bye-bye, Charlie."
Charlie, don't bite me.
Ouch, Charlie.
As they're leaving, Care is going to turn to go. What did Amir say to him this time?
It's more what he didn't say. There was so much. So much.
You might as well tell me while we walk back. And they're going to start heading back, I guess. Yeah.
And I info dump every single thing Amir said.
All of those shenanigans. Okay. So what are you going shopping for?
Splint mail.
Splint mail. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, let me just check on something real quick. It's gonna be a little tough to find in town. There's a few shops that, a few like blacksmiths and things that deal in that sort of stuff. They don't seem to have anything quite in your size. That's the struggle that you're having right now. Is that they've got a few. You managed to find a couple sets, but they're either like oversized or undersized for you. So you're having a little bit of trouble on that.
The woes of just being a regular human.
Yeah. So
in a fantasy setting.
one of the blacksmiths lets you know that they can get one of the oversized sets downsized to fit you, but it'll take them a day or two to get that work done for you. So if you're willing to wait, they're happy to take care of it for you. But you're
all right.
Can come back for it.
You know what? I can do that. I would have loved to have this before we set off, but I'll put a down payment on it, and I'm going to be heading out of town, so there's no rush on this. But say how long do would I expect this whole sort of quest to take, Kim? 2 weeks.
It's gonna take you maybe a few days to a week to get out and back,
Yeah.
depending on any kind of like side diversions you do along the way.
Yeah, I'll say I'll put a down payment. Just have it ready in a week.
Sure, no problem.
All right. And how much of a down payment do you want me to give?
Half. So,
Half.
100 gold.
All right. All right.
Okay,
Cool.
we'll get started on that for you, and we'll have it ready by the time you get back.
All right. Thank you. And it's like with the coffee now, it's just pushing its limits. I like sort of with as much energy as I can muster, try to make it back to the guild hall before I lose the bet.
So, just for the sake of my own peace of mind, to give the bet a chance of going either way, go ahead and make another Constitution save.
All right, I'll do that. Roll normal roll. All right, come on. All right, that's still a 12.
Yeah, you can make it back without passing out. You're definitely
I mean, it helps.
feeling
It helps.
the coffee's no longer really doing the trick for you, but you don't like
I mean,
black out in the street.
I mean, to be fair, it's only one lower than the last roll.
Mm-hmm.
It's like without the stone of good luck, it would have been 12 then an 11.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, luckily I'm proficient in con save, so it's fine.
So, with that, we're gonna go ahead and take a couple-minute break. It's a little bit later than we normally do it, but wanted to try to get a couple things squeezed in. So we'll go ahead and take a few minutes break. We'll be back in about 10 minutes or so. We'll finish out the last hour of the session. So stay tuned. We'll see you back here in a little bit, okay?
Okay.
Okay, we are back from break, and thanks for sticking around. We've got a little bit more time left in the session, so we are going to finish up sort of preparations, equipment buying, all of that kind of fun stuff, and then that'll put you at pretty much the end of this calendar day. So I'm assuming you'll get a sleep here and then head out first thing the following morning in quest of Hydra. So, Amir, you've gone ahead and taken your 4-hour sort of power nap out in the park.
Excellent.
And are feeling a bit restored, a little rejuvenated. It's been very serene and relaxing. There's it's a park, so there's some trees and bushes and birds chirping, and there's a fountain bubbling away nearby and all that fun stuff. Nice and exactly what you were hoping for.
Excellent.
I in the last just for a little flavor, in my last bits of caffeine energy, make sure that everybody in the hall sees that I'm still awake as I go head out to bed. just for the sake of the bed.
It's got to be a bit petty.
Yeah.
You see that I'm still awake, right? I told you I can make it. I'm going to bed though. But I made it back. Didn't fall asleep out there. I'm going to bed. And I head off to bed.
Okay. So, any other preparations that you want to make before you head out? You know that you're gonna, or at least you've expressed intentions to head from here to Hercad and then out into the wilderness. So you'll have one more place that you can pit stop in case there's any sort of like, oh man, I totally should have bought XYZ. You'll have one more opportunity to attempt to do that, though it's a smaller town. So if there's something that you really want, this is your better bet to find it.
I'd like to look for a better handheld weapon than my mace, see if I can find anything.
Okay. You looking for anything specific, or?
Not in particular, just something that I can wield that is not magical.
Okay. Right now, it's looking like your mace is your best bet. Unless you wanted to plunk down major coin for a magical weapon. There isn't really anything in the normal stuff that's gonna be a big bump for you.
Fair enough.
I would like to look for either any sort of magical short swords, or I think I can use rapiers as well. Either short swords or rapiers, preferably a short sword, that has either an ability to set it on fire, or to look for some ointments, or like some cloth, or some sort of magic stuff I can put on it that, when lit, will last for a decent while.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe a like a hand or a light crossbow. That's a good question. Either of those as well. I think a hand crossbow would be preferable in the two.
Care is also going to be going out. She's going to look for just some cheap cloth and some oil.
Okay. Just doing a couple of checks on some things. Okay, that seems pretty reasonable. We can work with that. So, as far as swords or short swords that will ignite themselves on fire, you do manage to find a weapon shop that does deal in enchanted weapons, and they do have a short sword that is classified as a flame tongue. It's a type of enchantment that does wreath of the blade in flame, but it's they're asking 9,000 gold for it.
Oh,
So they're is what it is on price. If you have issues with that particular funding, they can direct you to options such as Alchemist Fire, which would be just a little dangerous for like pouring on a sword, but you could go that route. There's also some oil options and things that you could do, like Care mentioned, in terms of wrapping up arrows with cloth and that are pre-soaked in oil and then lighting it and firing them off, that kind of a thing. So those are some more affordable alternatives for you that they kind of explain how that would work and what those kinds of things are.
are there any items that you would wish to trade? Perhaps one of these short swords for? Anything that you are looking for or desire that could perhaps negate this price?
Not really. We don't typically barter. We try to stick to producing our own ware.
Fine. How much would some of this alchemist's fire be?
So the Alchemist Fire, it's if you're looking for flasks of it, I don't see an exact quoted price. I know that's in here somewhere, but it's not massively expensive. It's maybe 25 to 50 gold for a flask, something like that. I'm trying to remember it off the top of my head.
Are there any like throne variants? So like maybe a glass ball or orb that I could throw and it just explodes? Because I feel as though a flask you'd have to pour it on and rather.
Well, the flask is designed to shatter on impact. It's
excellent.
And it's 50 gold a piece for a flask. So you can it ignites when it makes contact with air. That's why it's a little dangerous to try to pour onto a sword. Oils are a better choice for that. But if you're just looking to do fire to something, Alchemist Fire is going to get the job done for you.
I'll take 2.
All right. So they're happy to set you up with that, and then anything else? If you
do you have a hand crossbow and some bolts? Maybe either some explosive bolts, regular bolts, either of the two.
Sure. They have to direct you to the Fletcher that's next door, but you can get a standard hand crossbow and some bolts for it without too much trouble.
Right. Are there any special sort of bolts as such? And I take it the hand crossbow is just the base 75 gold that D&D Beyond says?
Yeah.
Cool.
They do not currently have any specialty crossbow bolts on hand. If that's something that you're interested in, they can do a custom order for you, but...
I'll just take... maybe 40 crossbow bolts. Just basic ones.
Mm-hmm.
How much even is that?
Crossbow bolts, it's 1 gold for 20, so 2 gold for the total.
Awesome. 2 gold. All right. Thank you very much. I'm gonna go back. Have a nice day.
Yeah, you too. Happy to help. And so, Care, you were looking for flasks of just regular oil.
Regular oil, some cheap cloth that she can turn into strips,
Mhm.
and another 20 arrows. Just plain arrows.
Yeah, so it's relatively cheap, right? Flasks of oil are only a silver a piece. Arrows you can buy in bulk relatively cheaply. We can do the math on what the exact total is, but it won't total out to more than a handful of gold. But
Fair
it's
enough.
easy enough to find those kinds of oil flasks because they're used for lanterns and torches and all kinds of other things. So it's easy enough to find in any of your major adventuring gear type mundane adventuring gear type places.
Yeah. Okay. So for then, when she gets back, before she heads to sleep, she's gonna use one flask. Or I guess that's not really my call, but she's gonna use some of the flasks and some of the cloth to make 10 arrows, like fire arrows, fiery arrows.
Sure.
And I sent a link for like a homebrew for what the stats could be. It's in the it's in the Roll20 there.
Okay, I'll take a look at it. But you won't need it right this second, so I'll take a look at that and we'll.
Yeah, so I'd
save
it for later, but I figured I'd save you a bit of research.
Sure, that's fine. All right. Anything else anybody wants to squeeze in before you crash out for the night? No. Okay. So
I've already been sleeping for like an hour at this point.
You're out cold. Everybody goes to sleep. They get a nice long rest. No worries, no cares, no troubles. Wake up the next morning in the guild hall, grab yourself some breakfast, and then hit the road heading for Hercad. So
Okay.
Roughly. We're going to be on the road there, south, and then at the fork across.
On the road again. Sing it with me now.
I can't
On the road again.
Can hum it? Trek references aside, what's up, Ken?
Working on figuring out what happens to you on the road.
Okay.
That's worrying.
It could be the guy looking for the bird again.
All right. So, early on in your travels here, as you make your, let's see, where did I? It's gonna take. Yeah, you get most of the. Yeah. Okay. So early on in the day, as you start to approach the crossroads here, you notice a horse run by in a southerly direction at the crossroads here. Just kind of runs by you, no rider on the back, just at full gallop. And then about a minute or so behind the horse comes a man who looks panicked and exhausted in a dead sprint trying to catch said horse. Do you want to try to help him, or are you just going to let him run by?
Do we still have horses? I can't remember.
I believe you do, yes.
I turn my horse Potatoes around, and I start galloping after the horse that went past us. See if I can catch it.
Okay.
What's a horse movement speed?
Pretty fast. It's like 40.
It's like yeah, because I just want to see if Cricky was faster with his flying speed. So its flying speed's 50 feet, so Cricky can gain ground then. So I'll gallop ahead, and Cricky will try to at least meet up with the horse.
Hare will cast Zephyr Strike on her horse. Oh no, you can't. It's only on self.
It's only on self.
Oh, that would have been great.
Isn't there? I thought the rule was that if you're mounted, itself counts for. It's like because I've been poking around in a lot of things recently, and like I remember seeing something that self apply or watching a video where self applies if you're mounted.
I'll leave it to Kim's call.
Garnet took off after the horse first. Go ahead and make an animal handling check for me to see how well you can get up next to and snag this horse.
I'd like to just briefly mention that I'll go alongside the man and offer him up onto my horse just to get over there quicker.
Okay. So it takes you a minute, right? You get your horse up to a full gallop to try to close the distance on the other horse that's been running at full speed here. You do manage to get alongside it. It's a bit of a reach. There's a couple of like moments as you go for the reins, but you do manage to grab them and rein in the riderless horse successfully. So you bring it in as Amir catches up to you with what you would assume is the owner of said horse on the back of his horse, who's looking very tired. He's very winded. He's, thank you. I thought I was going to have to haze him all the way to town. Oh, God. Like, it's just very much exhausted, and you could tell that he had maybe been running for longer than he'd want to have to admit to. But he hops off of Amir's horse and takes the reins from you, Garnet, and retakes control of his horse. And I can't believe he threw me off like that. It's you son of a. And he gets back on the saddle and thanks you as best he can. As he tries to catch his breath, and then continues on his merry way.
Say, before you go, sir, where are you headed?
He is heading for Westvale.
So south. So nowhere near where we're headed.
How long ago did he buck you off?
Not too long. I've been running a minute or two or so. Or
well, good luck with that.
Thanks.
Glad we could help.
Yeah, no, it's lucky that you happened to be at the crossroads when you were.
Can I ask why he bucked you off? Was he blocked by something?
I have no idea. We were riding along, everything was fine and dandy, and then
can I roll an insight check on this?
Yeah, you can if you want.
All right. Insight.
You're so distrustful of everyone you meet.
All right.
You can't just meet nice people in the world. Yeah,
No.
Seems like a nice enough guy. He just happened to get bucked off his horse.
Well, glad that Garnet was able to catch her horse for you. Have safe travels.
Yeah, I'll definitely be holding on extra tight.
And he is a player, super suspicious. He is a character, no worries.
It's just a guy. There's people in the world. They're traveling. They're going places. They're doing things, living their lives. Or try
I mean,
to, anyway.
Gregory is suspicious because there's currently a plot to take down the kingdom, but
Oh, well, you know.
That doesn't necessarily mean that it's got anything to do with us.
Yeah, I mean...
Oh, right. I never got a chance to tell you. Meager's dead.
Who?
The second person we talked to at the hospital.
Oh God, what happened?
I might have panicked and left when I asked what happened, and they said, "Are you next of kin?"
You should have said this before we left town.
I meant to tell you when we got back, but then everything happened with Noon's parents, and it just sort of blew everything. It just sort of threw everything for a loop. It just slipped my mind until right now that I never actually told you. Also, I never. Since now everybody else knows you. Also, I have a family curse. I probably should explain to you that at some point because we talked about that while we were.
How much did I miss?
Oh, yeah.
You missed. It was a very eventful day yesterday. I probably should fill you in. So I'll fill Garnet in on everything that she missed during the bread thief escapades while we're on there, and I'll message you on Discord to catch you up, so we don't have to go through all that.
But yeah, there were some assorted shenanigans and things, and
so your contact at the hospital, you said he died. Does that mean you never handed the stuff in?
Shit, I didn't, did I?
Do we need to turn our horses around?
you did not.
No. We can do it.
We'll hand it into the guild in the next spot.
Actually, can I see if Cricky can hold it and fly?
The gem should be small. What animal form is Cricky in at the moment?
Raven.
Yeah, that should be.
I mean, yeah. So I'll write a note, put it into the pouch, and I'll send Cricky back there. And then once we get back to Hercad, I'll dismiss him and recall him.
Okay. Yeah. That.
Thank you for reminding me. I forgot.
I was wondering if you were ever going to remember. I was like, didn't bother to give that back. Nope. That won't come back to bite you. Nope.
So I'll just give it right to the guards at the gate. Sure, why not? Okay. Easy enough.
So you scroll out a little note explaining what this is and why you had it, and I promise I didn't do anything bad. I swear, Scout's honor, please don't hurt me.
Yeah.
That works.
Bad. And at the PS, my bad.
For leaving town with evidence pertaining to an arson investigation. Yeah, that's generally considered a bad move. So you have that little bit of realization. You take the time, send Cricky off, flying back towards Wissendale, and then you get back on the road heading for Hercad. If you push the horses, you can get to Hercad by the end of the day. They'll be a little tired from it, but you can get all the way there. Otherwise, you can stop on the road here and camp if you prefer.
We're in no rush.
I'd say camp.
Yeah, I say it might be quite nice to be outside the confines of a city for once.
I'm sure Kel will appreciate the decision to camp as well.
Yeah, Karen, you think you can set us up a great camp for, or at least find us a great spot to set up camp?
I think I can figure something out. Would I have to roll something there? Or?
Make a survival check. It's relatively easy for you as a ranger, but just to kind of the quality of the campsite that you find will kind of go off the check.
Oh.
It it's an average-ish place to stop. It's enough of a clearing that everybody's not hyper cramped. You're not overly worried about your campfire accidentally catching any of the surrounding brush on fire, any of that kind of stuff. It's an okay-ish campsite. It not the Ritz Carlton, but it'll do for the night. As you're a little ways away from the road. So let me get watch if you're gonna set watch. Otherwise, everybody just goes to bed.
I'm fine with taking first watch.
I will take second, seeming as my rest should be done after first, roughly ish.
And I should be easy enough to wake up with my passive. So I'm fine with the watch that they're set. I'll
take first watch, I guess.
Well, Garnet was going to take first watch.
Oh, sorry.
I can
and
do
then
third if you'd rather, care.
No, that's okay. Okay, so which watches do we have? We have first?
First and second are definitely spoken for with Garnet and Amir, and then Gregory was...
I could then, it's like with first and second, that'd be enough time for me to get a full rest in.
Yes.
Yeah, so then I'll go third.
Okay. So perception checks from all three of you, please.
Of course. I get advantage. There we go. And then whatever Garnet's was, because it's still whispered.
Yep. So Garnet, your watch goes by. It's pretty chill. You've got first watch, so it's early in the evening. There's a little bit of road traffic going by, but very minimal at this point. It's late. People don't prefer to travel at night. But it's relatively calm and chill, and you don't really notice anything out of the ordinary. Amir, you take over, and about halfway through your watch, you hear heavy footsteps in the woods off in the distance. It's a little hard to make out in the darkness, but it looks like a tree is walking through the woods. There's a big sort of heavy steps of this walking.
How sort of far away is it from camp?
It's probably a good 25-30 feet away. Just kind of heading parallel to camp. It's not coming at you. It's just sort of walking through the woods nearby.
I'll just keep an eye on it until if it gets within sort of if it gets any closer than 25 feet, then it's on alert and I'll wake everyone up, I suppose.
Okay.
But not obviously only if it's approaching within 25 feet maliciously. If it just happens to wander in, then obviously I wouldn't wake everyone up.
I gotcha. You're on high alert, having witnessed this very large tree-like creature strolling through the woods nearby. So you're on high alert, but it just sort of moseys on by and heads off into the distance, and you don't see it again for the rest of your watch. It just happened to be out on a constitutional. And
just living his tree life.
You tag in Gregory, let him know to be on watch for this tree creature thing that you saw go walking by.
Mm-hmm.
And
I'll obviously exaggerate it as it being a horrific, terrible plant beast.
Yeah.
Just to scare him a little.
Mm-hmm. Just this monstrous appearance. Damn near took my breath away. It was so scary.
I mean, Gregory just wouldn't. He wouldn't fall for it, but it's like he knows that it's exaggerated. But he's like he knows that he's been a little hard on Amir lately. So he's like, all right, buddy, I'll keep an eye out.
Okay, so you spend the night. Gregory's watch goes by uneventfully. You wake up. Everybody wakes up the next morning. ready to hit the road and head for Hercad.
Right.
So grab some breakfast, hit the road, mount up and whatnot, head into town, arrive, hunky dory.
Oh, I guess this would probably be a good time to dismiss and recall Cricky.
Yeah, you would definitely have gotten there at that point. Yeah, so you arrive in Hercad. It's a decent-sized town, not anywhere near as big as Wistondale was, but big enough. It's coastal. So there is a bit of a port townness to it. It's not one of the major hubs, but they get some sea traffic. So
I mean, living in a port town in real life, yeah, I get it.
yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
So yeah, it's not one of the major trade hubs, but it gets, like I said, it gets some ships in and out. So is there anything that you feel like you want to do here or need to do here, or is this just a stopgap for you?
I'll maybe have a look to see if they've got a better deal on some of those flame tongue short swords, potentially. It's a long shot, but...
I do want to check out that shop that Garnet was talking about. Okay. The point of interest.
So, Care wants to see if there's any other guild people here at the guild who have attempted this quest.
Okay. So Amir, you poke around asking about flaming swords, and you come up empty. They don't even have them, let alone have them at a better price. Care, you stop in at the guild hall to kind of poke around a little bit, see who's around, and see what you can find out from the guild hall master and that sort of thing. There's a few people hanging around. It's nowhere near as busy as Whitsundail's hall was. There's just a couple of people. Most of them look a little rough around the edges. Like they tend to spend their rangery types. They spend most of their time in the wilderness, and they just sort of pop into the guild hall every now and again when they need to reset.
Definitely my type of people.
Cares people.
Yeah, they're very much. They feel like you're home away from home to some extent.
You don't need the language check to know they speak your language.
Yeah. When you check in with the guild hall master, they do let you know that another group did stop in here as a checkpoint before heading out north in search of Hydra. They have not come back yet.
How long ago was that?
About 3-4 days or so.
Okay. Well, that's usually not a good sign. We'll keep an eye out for them.
They looked a little green to be taking on a Hydra, but they were confident, so I didn't try to stop them. Was hopeful they were going to prove me wrong, but perhaps not.
Well, if we find them, we'll let you. Hopefully, we'll be able to find them in less. Hopefully, we'll find them in one piece apiece. There we go.
There you go.
That's pretty much it. Care, she's gonna check with any of the other hunters to see if they have any good, recommendations on where they can find. She'll check with the other rangers to see if they have recommendations on where they might most easiest find a Hydra to take down.
Mm-hmm. So they'll let you know that there's a bit of a chuckle from them at the idea of an easy takedown of a Hydra. There's nothing easy about it.
Obviously.
Yeah, but they do let you know that they do like sources of water. So you're looking for low elevations where you might potentially find underwater, little lakes. You're looking for low elevation caves where water would naturally pool to after heavy rains and things of that sort.
No.
That would be their kind of favored place to nest up. So that kind of helps narrow down the search a bit for you. But in terms of specific places, they haven't gone looking, so they couldn't tell you exactly where to go. But that at least gives you a ballpark idea of where you're looking for.
Yeah, which is more than nothing.
That's about what the potion maker had told me as well.
Let's see here. Looking for something. What am I looking for? Oh, the shop. I was trying to find the name of the person who runs that shop, because it's been a little while and I need to refresh.
Been a while.
It has.
I appreciate that joke.
The easiest jokes to make.
Let's see, that's the goat. Gelatinous cube. Upgrades. There we go. No, that's not it. There it is. That's why I keep all these. Draga runs the Den of Goods here in Hercad. So
Den of Goods is such a good name for a shop.
Isn't it? I wish I had thought of it. But so you get led by Garnet to this shop that you had previously stopped into. It is Draga's Den of Goods on the sign up above. You step in, and they are behind the counter. Most of the shop seems to be mundane adventuring stuff. It's a lot of like camping equipment, pitons, rope, climbing gear, water skins, rations, all of that sort of standard fare. The compass, that's why they had the compass. The compass just turned out to be a bit unusual, but they generally trade in standard kit. But you are welcome to strike up a conversation, poke around a little bit, whatever you'd like to do on that front.
Can I look to see if they have any better non-magical weapons than my mace?
Sure. Let's see. You get.
I'll look for like some waterproofing that I could like try to keep my socks dry, as if we're gonna be like wading in some water.
Mm-hmm.
Sort of weatherproof my my clothes.
Okay, so Draga recommends trying the shop down the way. It's like two or three doors down this ways, and they would be able to hook you up with any of the sort of simple weapony things if you have something that suits your interest. If you're looking for an upgrade, the closest thing they've got to an upgrade for you would be a great club. It's two-handed, but it does a little bit more damage than the mace that you've got. But it's going to tie up both hands if you want to go that route.
No, I'd rather have a hand free. Thank you.
Otherwise, everything else is just different flavors of the same thing, basically, with what you're looking at currently. So that was the weapon check. What were you doing, Amir?
Yeah, Amir? Yeah, what was he doing? I thought you were asking me for a second. I'm like, I'm not Amir. No, you're actually asking Amir, sorry.
Obviously, at first I went having a look for a better deal on the Flame Tongue, but might just go sit at the docks, or just like the kind of docks thing, and just kind of watch the sea until sort of like I assume we arrived here in the morning, right?
Yeah, for pretty much first thing.
So probably until about lunch, of which I'll head back to the sort of smallish guild hall tavern place. And then hopefully meet up with the others there.
Okay. Okay. And Gregory.
I was at the shop. I was looking for like waterproofing.
Waterproofing, right. That's not too hard to find. You've got leather boots. They go rifling in the back, and they bring out. It looks like a waxy substance. They tell you put 2 coats on it, one in the morning, one at night to let it cure, and you should be good on the waterproofing.
Nice.
It'll help keep the water off your socks, as long as you don't go more than, over the top.
Right. Yeah.
But otherwise, that covers you on that. Anything else?
I think we've hit a lot of what we would need for fire damage sort of stuff. Like I can cast Chromatic Orb. Garnet's got Elemental Weapon. The other two looking for some long range, like sending stuff with fire with oils and stuff. So I think we're good on that front. So I'm just gonna head back to the guild hall as well.
Okay.
Oh, never mind. Actually, I might just pick up some cloth because I just realized I have oil, but I don't actually have any cloth that I could put on the crossbow bolt tips.
Well,
I might pick up some cloth while I'm at the adventuring store.
Well, I can see Care offering to share and showing Amir actually how to properly do the cloth to the bolt so it doesn't interfere with his shot.
Mm-hmm. You don't want to jam it up the action on the cross.
No, for sure.
All right.
Actually, is there like any like sort of touristy shirts that I can pick up here? It's like I went to Hercad and all I got was this stupid shirt sort of thing.
Not really. No, they don't particularly trade in that sort of thing.
That was worth a shot.
Yeah. Tchotchkes haven't been invented yet. You could pioneer a whole new.
It's like you got anything like, and then I describe essentially like an I Heart New York shirt, effectively. Mm-hmm. It's like, you got anything like that?
You're about to lose.
Right to her, and I like try to maybe just sort of spark in her brain. And then
that's when you lose the. That's when you lose the. What do you call it? That's when you lose the rights for it.
Mm-hmm. Yep, you put it out into the world now. It's free.
No, it's out there.
Now it's out there. I'm no clothes maker. I'm not gonna be able to do this. But if I can inspire somebody else to do that, that's just making the world a better place,
mm-hmm.
or at least a cheesier place.
It's worth a shot.
Worth a shot.
We do have an entrepreneur making pins out in the world somewhere, so why not t-shirts too? So if you finish up and head back to the guild hall, you'll find Care's been kind of glad-handing-ish, just chit-chatting with the local members of the guild and trying to get information out of them on where to go and where your best
comparing trophies and getting information.
Mm-hmm. Just making friends, which good for you on that. It's always good to make new friends. If there isn't anything else overly pressing that anybody wants to do in town here, may just call the session here and we'll pick up next week with you heading out north into the wilderness, because it's like a decent place to kind of halt. So if there's anything else in town, anybody that you would want to look for, talk to, even if it's just random role play stuff, now's the opportunity to get it in. Otherwise, we'll just wrap up for the day here. And
the only other thing I wanted to mention was maybe whilst Amy was at the docks, he read some more of the history book.
Sure.
Because I don't think I quite finished that one yet.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe there's something about hydras in there. You never know.
Maybe.
Okay. Anybody else have anything? Nope. Everybody feeling good? Okay. Then
Nope.
we'll go ahead and call the session here. Thank you, as always, to my players for putting up with the shenanigans that I subject you to, and to everyone who tuned in today. And I hope that everyone has enjoyed this morning's session. Be sure to tune in later on today. We have a Sunday evening campaign that we run on the channel here, and then Tuesday nights. Tuesday nights is the other campaign that I run here on the Roll Society channel, and then Wednesday night, Friday night, Saturday night are all great campaigns being run by some of the other DMs that we have. You should definitely check out what they're doing. It's some really cool content. And this Thursday is a special level 20 max level end game content one shot that I'm running that should be ridiculous and just over the top, as max level characters can do ungodly things. So tune in and check that out, and we'll see everybody back here next Sunday morning. Yeah.